The ocean and waters are vast on our green and blue planet, but what if I told you that there are still idiots who manage to end up hitting each other? Today we'll be taking a look at them to see for ourselves what ticks in their mind. Let's begin right away. Looks like the captain of this sailboat was busy sitting on the side of the boat rather than behind the wheel, and the inevitable happened. He's visibly angry at what happened, but honestly it could have been easily avoided too. This boat racked up so much speed that it went flying into a 360 degrees flip. That landing must have jolted both the bolts of the pilot and the boat, but not to worry as they have a lot of safety measures in place for the pilot. These guys had the money to get a boat, but not the money to get a proper crane to set it down in the water. Now it already needs repairs. Here are a bunch of stupid guys who decided to jump off a moving boat, but right in front of it. One of them was safe, but the other, well, let's just say probably got the haircut of a lifetime. When you see a bunch of boats jam-packed with each other, what do? If you're these guys, then of course, you squeeze yourself in too. They're bumping into each other and they still have the audacity to yell like it's the other person's fault.
Don't floor it! Don't floor it! God dang!
Here's the aftermath of someone who really believed that they could make their boat fly high in the sky.
Wow! Hey, Dakota, you at the shop?
With the storm approaching, instead of docking to safety, these guys huddled together. Now look at what's happening. A ghost boat seems to be getting out of control as the pilotless vehicle spins around in circles. These guys made the mistake of getting too close to the edge of the weeds, and this made the bikini girl fly high in the sky. Looked like their day of having fun became a day of getting bandages. Not every turn is promised to be a good and healthy one. These guys overshot this one and got sideswiped by a train.
Get on the track. How many times do I have to tell?
They say history repeats itself, and this cruiser got hit with a massive iceberg just like the Titanic, and even the passengers call it out.
God, Titanic 2.0. Oh my. We hit some iceberg. We hit some ice. Oh my God.
Sure, people crash and whatnot, but the Aussies have the best reaction to everything, as did these guys who just had this to say. They really need to start on redesigning these speedboats so they can go faster in a straight line rather than going up. Sometimes boats need help to stop, and this one uses the help of two others to stop, be it non-consensual. The passengers of this boat were having a nice time until they saw another ship coming their way from the side and the two collided. This rescue boat had to be anchored onto this ship and pulled upwards, but before the crane operator could even think about it, disaster struck. Loading a container on a ship is super tricky business if you do it like this. The boat tilts, sending everything to fall into the water. This ship launch almost turns into a funeral as the giant cleat, which was supposed to anchor the boat from going too far back, goes flying. A ship lost control and pushed a poor yacht into the docks, squishing the life out of the poor thing. Here's what happens when a giant meets another giant. The container ship gets hit right at the tip of its nose. Thankfully, both receive minimum damage. Unfortunately for this one, however, it drags itself across the harbor that leaves a significant mark on the ship. This solo ride-or-die trip almost turns into the latter when the boat starts flipping due to all the weight being at the back. An oil tanker runs over a Coast Guard ship that got a little too close for comfort, and who could blame the big tanker? They probably didn't even see it coming. Similarly, these two boats drifted right into each other as people on top of both stood and watched as everything unfolded. This right here is a powerful motor in the hands of a lunatic who takes the boat straight into the big waves and just sinks it. There's no predicting what a sailboat could do. These guys are just like the Kia souls of the water.
Sailboat.
Guess what else is unpredictable? The ocean, when it's rough, as these guys will show just how bad it can get. A barge gets intercepted by a small yacht that casually makes its way in front of it, and we all know how the brakes are on boats, don't we? It takes the little boat down like a rat in front of a car on the highway.
Holy shit! Wij moeten iemand bellen, schat. Stop met de filmen. Wat is dat van hier gebeuren?
Docking can be a tricky thing, as this ship almost fails to do a smooth dock and collides against the wall. This guy wanted to get out to open waters faster than the other guy and paid the price for his impatience as his boat turned into boats. This bulk carrier seems to have seen better days and probably won't be in service for a very long time to come. Imagine you're on a cruise ship and see this the next morning while you're out on the ocean. Do you think everyone wanted a refund?
They'll get it out.
Sometimes these sailboats turn on themselves and attack each other. Watch these two teams T-bone each other and send someone flying. Competitive sailing exists, and along with it there exists a constant cycle of hurt and getting wet.
Go home and sleep. Try again tomorrow. Not every bad day can become a good day. Some days are f***ed and cannot be un-f***ed.
Like the yacht we saw before, this tugboat also got to know what it feels like to get squished between a boat and a concrete wall. A big barge sank while at the docks due to the entire thing splitting because of the weight of gravel which it was carrying. These guys expect their boat to still move after being beached on the docks. All those engines won't help with anything right now. This diver went full professional to dive into water that was only knee-deep. That must have given him a headache. While trying to avoid another collision with a ship, this container ship flowed right into this bank in India. Looks like this guy doesn't really care about those antennae because it looks like he's done that before. Drunk people on boats are just a sight to behold, as this guy gives us and his friends the entertainment we all needed. Here's a captain that's trying to stay true to his ship that is sinking, and he wants to stay with it for as long as he can. Here's yet another runaway boat that lost control and heads straight for the rocks and bounced up on him. Rest in peace.
Oh my god. What the? Holy shit.
This man sailing a one-man vehicle gets a surprise of a lifetime when a whale jumps out and hits him. A boat capsizes while being swallowed up from behind as people jump overboard. What could have gone wrong?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh! Oh my goodness! Come on, swim! Swim, swim, swim! Swim! Get away from the boat! Oh my goodness! Oh!
Adventures on the water can be really unique sometimes, as we can see here. A boat hits another boat on purpose, and then chaos ensues. A walrus takes out all of his frustration on this boat as it gets close enough for it to drive its sword-like tusks inside it.
We have a problem.
Yep, I got leak.
We have a leak.
This guy gets his boat to move aside to safety while the one he was avoiding goes straight into another sailboat.
Уебака сошел. Бля.
Like a floating sword on the sea, this ship about to be skewered by an oncoming ship as the both of them drift right into each other. Who do you think would be at fault for this? From afar, this guy managed to film something that probably not a lot of people might have been able to spot, a collision on the water. Here's a visual representation of how I meet my friends after a long time. We just hug it out like these guys. Only thing is, we have arms and not bows of metal that clash and leave holes in each other. Would you be comfortable in using a ferry like this to get across a channel? Because this person certainly made the mistake of doing so. Containers really need to be anchored down safely onto ships, otherwise they can topple over, and then you won't get that car you ordered. In a sea tango gone wild, the German MV Colombo Express and the Singapore MV Maersk Tanjong collided in the Suez Canal. Proof that even container ships can have dance-offs. A Japanese-owned bulk carrier turned the port of Barranquilla, Colombia into a chaotic stage, destroying a pier in an unexpected dance of mayhem as if pirouettes were a maritime specialty.
Puta. La muralla, y gonorrea que los que botan para el piso. Tienen santísima.
The workers aboard this ship were not expecting such a big gush of water to suddenly consume them. You can almost see under the ocean. Here's someone who gravely misjudged the size of their ship and went straight under the bridge just to end up hitting it. These lines are bigger than the cars standing next to them, but surely not strong enough to keep such a big ship at bay as they slowly start breaking one by one. Bad weather can become a captain's worst enemy while at the docks as this ship smashes about on the wall while being pushed everywhere by the water. That is why they invented these tow trains at these docks, but even they are not able to withstand the weight and force of these massive ships. Watch as the one at the back begins to get crushed.
Look at the trolley over there. Look at that.
The MV Golden Ray, a 200-meter roll-on roll-off cargo ship meant for automobiles, capsized on September 8, 2019 near the port of Brunswick in Georgia, USA. Eventually declared a total loss, it was dismantled for scrap. A passenger recorded the distressing moment when the MF Skånevik ferry, navigating Lysefjord, collided with a rock wall at Kvernafjellet. The unsettling incident unfolded as the skipper unfortunately succumbed to sleep on the bridge, underscoring the importance of maritime vigilance and safety protocols. Watch as these two ships come under attack by waves that are dwarfing them in size and swallowing them whole only to let them out again. I wouldn't be standing outside if it were them. During the attempt to dock at Busan New Port on April 6, 2020, the container ship Milano Bridge, unable to decelerate, collided with and destroyed a gantry crane. Investigations revealed that the tugs were powerless due to the vessel's excessive speed.
우와, 밑에 사람 있는데?
The Aframax crude oil tanker Jaglila found itself in dry dock at the Belawan shipyard in Medan, North Sumatra, Indonesia, along the Malacca Strait. Unfortunately, a fire incident during repair work claimed 7 lives due to a severe breach of safety regulations. Imagine ordering something super expensive from somewhere only to find out that now the fishes are using it because the containers fell off the ship while it was being transported to your country. Using cranes on the sea can be tough work. Look at these guys just scrambling everywhere to avoid being crushed by these massive pipes. Speaking of water, here are some rough ones as they're toying around with a ship that looks like it's made of wool. You should never underestimate the power of Mother Nature because she can throw ships like these against walls like it's nothing. In a maritime flashback, a ship transporting cars on the open deck faced adversity during stormy weather when seawater breached a car battery, sparking a fire that quickly engulfed all vehicles. The crew, hindered by adverse water, struggled to contain the blaze, resulting in the complete destruction of the cars. Rolling onto the boat using nothing but stick, this guy should have been smarter than this. The boat comes uneven and begins to rock back and forth, only to have the mini roller thrown off board. At least the operator made it off. Now, here's a little don't move or we'll tip over kind of situation. These guys got stuck here God knows how, and now they're literally balancing on a very thin piece of their boat. Well, at least they didn't sink. Here's what happens when a big ship enters the docks of little boats and tries to maneuver around them. All that damage just for one ship to turn around? Maybe that's why they both have different docking areas. If you thought texting while driving was a big thing, here's what happens when a captain uses his phone while trying to move a massive ship around near other ships. The ferry T-boned the container ship and, well, I guess the captain got a huge ticket too. Hopefully. In a terrible twist of events, another container ship starts sinking after a hull breach, and this sped up video shows just how hungry the ocean really is when it comes to gulping down huge ships like this. Another ferry gets into hot waters when the cars on top of it become loose due to the bad weather and are thrown everywhere and in the water. Imagine the fees the ferry company has to pay to insurance. Somebody left a hatch open in this barge, and when the water rose, it became flooded, and look at where that got them. All it took was 38 seconds to sink and total a boat that probably took months to build in the first place. Imagine going on your daily walk to find out that a massive container ship has just rammed into the side of the footpath you used to jog on. At least it would make for an interesting jog, right? Here's another container ship that fell victim to the cold arms of the sea as it slowly sinks down, filling up with water. And just like that, in a matter of seconds, it is gone under the deep blue sea. These party folk didn't expect their party to get this wet when they sat on the boat. When the captain saw a big wave coming, he just went straight for it and got everyone showered. What a waste of beer! Here's another cocky captain that brought the party to a premature halt when he got too happy with his handle and ruined the day for everyone, including himself. Do you think he got paid for that still? Here's why I don't like sailboats. They're always at the mercy of the winds, and when the weather gets bad, it doesn't take a few minutes, just a few seconds. This isn't a boat a person can solo either. This two-man army tries its best to take control of their boat, but at the end they too prove powerless against Mother Nature, who blows them down into the water. Here's someone who thought they could master the ocean, but the waves just got bigger and bigger. The brave captain faces all sorts of them until one of them sends him and his boat flying higher than he expected.
Oh my. Where is he? Oh, there.
Likewise, even the biggest ships like this one aren't safe. The waves caught it off guard from the side, and now it's rocking like anything and hit some rocks because we all know if you can see rocks, then your boat probably hit the floor. It took another person to tell this guy what was wrong with his boat, and only a rookie can make such a small little error. This family trusts this guy a little too much to be piloting a boat for them.
Your engine's out of the water. You gotta put your engine in the water. That's all right.